like I'll do if it's someone where like I don't know them or I'm meeting them for the first time, or maybe I'm talking to them about like for a specific reason. Like recently I talked to this guy from Australia. His job was something I never heard of before. He said he was like an audiologist or something. So he specializes like in hearing, like I guess audiology, like kind of like audio.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, damn! Like I've never heard of it. Yeah,
heard
exactly,
of it.
right? Yeah, so for something like that, I would definitely like have an intro, and all that stuff. But I feel like you've been on the pod. What is this?
I know,
Like the fourth time, fifth time?
Probably, yeah. What's up?
Oh my gosh! Yeah, so it's episode 28, bro. So how did 2021 treat you?
It ended off really horrible. Just because I got sick twice. I already told you it. Got sick twice. A friend's dad passed away, and then Christmas time is always hectic with the family, right? So it's always like, I don't know. It wasn't good. It was a lot of ups and downs. And I'm just glad it was the new year, but kind of started the new year off kind of rough too. Just sick again.
Damn, bro.
But I know, man. I don't know. And you can't even tell if it's a cold, flu, or COVID, right? It's just so hard because everything feels the same. I feel like, I don't know. I probably had COVID twice already, but I don't even know.
Did you ever get tested?
Not this time around. No, the other times I wasn't positive, but this time around I did it. We were gonna stay home anyways, right? Because where else can we go? Everything's closed. Everything's locked down. We can't see our family, so stay home anyways.
Yeah. Well, it's good too, like especially with like your job and like your career as like a independent freelancer businessman. You can kind of like dictate your own schedule. You don't have to go in to work with a specific shift and work with people and coworkers. Whereas me, like, man, it sucks. Like there's all this like virus stuff and flu and pandemic but gotta go into work with all the other people, right? So it's like, man, I kind of wish I was further along in the entrepreneurial career, especially during a pandemic, because I definitely would have stayed home more. But
I know.
At least you have that option, right?
Yeah, it's good, man. Like it's good. It's just for myself. I feel like my time. I guess I don't know. I got sick anyways, but my time management in December, even like the last 2 months of the year was just really bad, right? So that's the thing I'm trying to work on this year. Just kind of like better manage my time with the kids and with like the personal life and the career and the YouTube stuff, right? So I think that's one thing I want to focus on more because I don't know. I want to just keep it consistent this year.
Yeah,
try to be more consistent.
So what does your schedule look like, or what does a schedule look like that you want to follow on a daily basis?
Well, to be like, if I could go to the office 8 hours a day and just treat it kind of like a full-time job, I would do that. But I know it's not realistic with the kids, and I know Mary needs help, right? So for those watching, I have 3 kids. One of them's older, but there's 2 young ones. So the 2 young ones need a bit more attention, right? So, so 4 hours a day. That's what we're aiming for. 4 hours a day, and I could work at home too a little bit because I have another kind of like office here, but it's just like a table. So if I need to do like stuff on the computer and write stuff, I can just do it here. But 4 hours a day at the office is the realistic goal that I want.
So like 7 days a week or Monday to Friday type of thing?
Probably like I say like 4 to 5 days a week. So that's, and then stuff at home too, right? So a lot of the planning stuff, I feel like I have to do it at home. Because instead of going there to do it, unless I'm like just really distracted here, then I'm just gonna do it there. But
yeah, so then when you get into the office, you really got to like get after it and like put in like a hard straight 4 hours basically to maximize your time then, right?
And that's the thing. Sometimes I can't just start working too when I get to the office. Sometimes I need like an extra hour before I start kicking it. It starts kicking in where I just want to kind of like, I kind of know what to do. So I need that extra time to kind of like prep and get everything ready and then start filming. So I end up having like 2-3 hours afterwards when everything's good to go. So that's, I don't know. That's why I feel like maybe having a home office instead of having a separate office might be better in my situation, because then say if the kids are calm, I can just say go down to the basement and start working, right? Instead of me having to drive to the office and then come back here, because most of the time I can't just do that. Right? So Yeah, I don't know. I think in the future I'm probably just gonna get rid of the office and have one at home, something at home.
So you're
Once we get a
gonna
place.
do the same things along what I'm trying to do, or at
Pretty
least
much,
I'm
man. Yeah.
hoping for.
I think for us it just makes more sense because we have kids, right? Because
Yeah.
just think about it now. Like if you have to like leave, and it's nice to have that peace and quiet, just keep everything separate. But sometimes it's just time, right? You don't have all that time to dedicate just to leave, and so sometimes Mary, like I said, Mary needs my help here at home, so I gotta stay home. But sometimes there's like an hour or two in between where I can do work, and I can't just go to the office for an hour and come back, right? So I don't know. That's why I think having a home studio would be better.
Yeah, for sure. But
Yeah.
also the other problem too, especially with like creative work, like what me and you do, when it comes to content creation, it's not like you can just snap your fingers and all of a sudden you go like a day job where you just clock
Yeah.
in. Like sometimes a lot of these creative ideas, they don't come to you right away, or at least for me, they
No,
don't.
yeah.
Like a lot of the times I'm sitting at my computer staring at a blank Google Docs screen because I have no ideas flowing in my mind. And sometimes it takes 15 minutes, half an hour, or even like an hour or two before like those creative thoughts like start flowing and I can get them onto paper, or maybe I can, incorporate them into some of my editing or whatever I'm doing, right? I feel like the creative process, it's not structured. It's not as simple as like, okay, from 12 to 4, I'm just going to spend all this time writing or editing or researching or brainstorming ideas. Because sometimes when you brainstorm ideas, you get like nothing out of it. But then there's other times where like I'm in the middle of dinner and all of a sudden like an idea will come into my mind and it'll just like fabricate out of nowhere. And I'm like, where does this come from? Right? Like, do you have that same type of feeling with content creation?
Yeah, I was just talking to Barry about that. I feel like sometimes when I'm just playing video games, I'm just sitting there. I'm like, oh wait, I think I want to do this as a video. So I'll just stop playing and like write it all down. Right? It's just weird. Like it just happens randomly, like you said. Sometimes you're just having dinner and it just pops in your head, right? So like I said, like when I get to the office, sometimes I still need that hour to get everything ready, to get everything going, and it's not just like okay, get there, start working, and boom, start filming. It takes time for me. I don't know if it's the same for other people. But for me, I need that extra little time at the beginning to get things going.
Yeah, like I'm sure that it's different for everyone. But for whatever reason, content creation or just like creativity in general, it's just so different. Like it's such a different line of work than like anything I've ever done. And because there's even some days where I have all kinds of like amazing ideas that are just like free flowing, and I have all this energy and all this motivation, and I'm just like, it's almost as if I'm in the zone and I'm in that flow state where you kind of like lose track of time and you don't notice that 2 or 3 hours have gone by and you're just like constantly working, or you're in the flow, you're in the zone. And then I feel like I can't activate or trigger that flow state every single day. It's not something you can just make appear on command. It's just for whatever reason it's very strange how it works. And there's like, for example, this morning I was on fire. This morning, oh my gosh, I had all kinds of crazy thoughts come to my mind, and I wrote like, I don't know, 700 words, like 3 pages of thoughts and ideas and content for a future video. But the day before, I had like 2 sentences, 3 sentences, and it was just a normal struggle that I couldn't overcome, and it was horrible.
I think that's how I felt towards the end of the year. A lot of times I was just like, I think a lot of days I couldn't figure out what to do or how to put everything together. So it was a struggle the last couple months of 2021. That's why I told myself to like maybe towards the end I'll take a little break, but just ended up being sick anyway, so I had to take a break and with Christmas and all that stuff happening, right? So, but now it's just trying to get back into it again, right? Trying to get back into like a consistent, just being consistent again with posting and creating, right? And I wanted to start fresh right off the bat, but then like I told you, I got sick again. So I don't know. I'm just hoping that something like just sparks or like something just motivates me again, just to kind of get in the flow of things. But right now I have some video ideas I want to do, and I'm hoping that just kind of like kicks things back into like kicks me back into the groove of things.
Are you planning like to? I know when you say you want to be more consistent this year. Does that look like posting once per week? Like, what does that look like for you?
Well, my goal is just at least three a month. I think that's realistic for me. Yeah, because there's other things I want to do too. Because I started working with another company to create a course. So we've been working on that for the past since the end of summer. So we've been trying to create a course and put that together. So we're doing a free one right now, which is on cinematography and just shooting in general, right? So just a basic free course. So I want to focus on the 3 YouTube videos a month, and then working on the courses, and also I'm trying to put together some like products, like digital products that I want to sell through my videos as well. So trying to kind of expand a little bit, not just focus on the videos, the YouTube videos. I want to do other things, which is all kind of like related still.
Is that like what do you call that website? Skillshare? Is it like a Skillshare course?
So this company I'm working with is called Nas Academy. They pretty much just host like courses for different types of creators. The last one they released, they had the chief marketing officer of Netflix, and she put out her own course on there. Yeah, so like they're like Dan Mace. I don't know if you ever heard of Dan Mace. He's another guy. He used to work with Casey Neistat a lot. He has a course on there. So they picked a bunch of creators to put out courses, and then they kind of help you build it, right? So it's good for me because I have an idea on how to put it together, but they're kind of helping me out with like the curriculum and all that stuff and how to properly put it together. So it's been good. It's just kind of like a lot of back and forth right now because I want to make sure that I put out the right type of product out there, not just something random, right?
Yeah, of course, especially if you put your name on it. Like if you create a course, you don't want it to be garbage, right? Like you want it to be quality or to be useful, especially if you're going to recommend it to your subscribers or your following on your channel, right? Like you don't want to tell people to go check out your course and then it's like it sucks, right? You want to put in that effort and create a quality piece of content for your people, right? So I can respect that, but I could feel like that's probably like a lot of work making a course.
It is, and then trying to kind of like mesh it in with everything else I'm doing, right? So I'm still doing some freelance editing for other companies and doing some side projects, some personal projects too. So it's a lot of juggling around, man. Just kind of like, I guess it's all about balancing it all, making sure that. But December kind of ruined everything. He like ruined the groove of things, man. Like I can't blame anybody. It happens, but like it just sucks. I just hate it when I get sick. It's like the worst, man. I don't want to do anything. I'm so like not motivated at all. I'm just like super lazy when I'm sick. Just like I hate it. It just kind of ruins everything for me.
Oh, okay, so, I see. Yeah. So like your periods of lack of health or being sick, it really kills your drive and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, it does, and that's what Mary was saying. Like maybe main priority this year is health. Like health, just kind of like getting back in shape, just kind of like just eating better and just kind of maintaining that as like part of our like lifestyle, right? Just making sure that it's just part of it. We don't have to like force it or anything. So, so that's something definitely I gotta prioritize.
But at the same time, though, it's hard because the gyms are closed, right? Can't go. You can't go to the gym to work out and get in shape. So, what are you gonna do there then?
Work out in my living. Work out while my kids watch SpongeBob and Frozen or something. Do jumping jacks while they're watching Frozen.
Oh man, I did a workout this afternoon in my garage, and it's been terrible. Like I'm in there with 2 layers on and a sweater and a toque, and I'm wearing gloves because it's so cold. Yeah. It was like minus 12 here in Mississauga yesterday. It was terrible. And
do you have a heater in there?
I have one of those like electrical heaters that you plug into the outlet, but it's not very good. And my garage it has windows and it's not insulated at all, so it's freezing, right? And I don't know. That's really killed my motivation. To work out, especially this winter or this past winter. It was, and I'm someone that I don't lack motivation at all. Usually when it comes to working out, like I'm usually on point. I'm pretty disciplined, and that's because, you know, it's something that I love to do. Like I thoroughly enjoy working out. I enjoy exercise. But this past winter was one of the hardest for me in terms of like consistently getting in a workout. And I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was because of the whole pandemic stuff or, you know, just my schedule being super busy and Tiffany growing up and, you know, trying to be like a good dad and all this stuff. It's for whatever reason, my workouts have kind of fallen by the wayside. And I've sort of lacked in that regard in terms of my health. And the funny thing is, as soon as like my fitness kind of falls off the cliff a little bit where I'm not as consistent with working out, my diet immediately follows suit. And I found myself, I've been eating more than normal, binging more than normal. I haven't been as smart and disciplined with my food choices a lot, especially this later half of 2021. And I was like, man, this is uncharacteristic for me, right? This is like something that I usually don't struggle with. So like beginning of this year, I'm like, okay, I gotta, you know, try to get back into the health, you know, the health and fitness, kind of push myself more, you know, and make a concerted effort to kind of, you know, prioritize that and make it important, right? And it's part of the reason why I was eating chips that weren't like normal chips. I'm trying like every little way I can, chips, right?
Did you get back into eating candies again? Because I remember you were addicted to that stuff before.
That I'm okay with that. Oh, for Christmas I YOLO'd and I ate all kinds of garbage. Like, you know, during the holidays with your family, you know, there's candies, there's chocolate, there's cake out. So, and you know, when I'm with my family, I'm just like, whatever. I don't care. I just all in. But I think for me this past year, it was just more like quantity of food. Because I have normally like I have a ferocious appetite. Like I just eat way too much. Even if you're eating healthy food, like I'll have, you know, I'll buy one of those like rotisserie chickens, right, and have it with like quinoa and broccoli or something. But I'll eat like half of the chicken. Like,
jeez,
like
dude.
That's like 2 meals. Like I'll have like a breast and a thigh and a wing. Like that's like so much like quantity of food. Man. That was my problem. So I've, you know, tried to be really disciplined with the intermittent fasting and all that kind of stuff. So those are my goals for the beginning of this year, at least.
Yeah, you've been pretty good though before. Like every time like you kind of like fell out of it, you can easily bounce back. And I think that's what I kind of like I kind of liked about you. You were able to like just bounce back easily. Like say you had like a bad week of eating with like your family or whatever, or friends, like you were able to just kind of like get back into it right after. And that's my issue when things like that happen, say for like a week or two, I just fall off. It's just like back to like square one again. It's just like, oh my God, I gotta do this all over again. And that's the hard part for me when I have to go to those parties or like when we have those bad meals. It's just like it just continues, and it's just I don't know. I think this is something that we just gotta kind of like have a balance and make sure that we're able to kind of eat better again right after, right? Because it's always been like that for me.
Yeah, like you got to find a system that works too, right? Because I'm sure everyone goes through, you know, that family gathering where someone orders like 4 pizzas and then there's chicken wings and French fries and there's Coke and there's beer. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna show up and say, "Oh, I'm not eating fried food right now at the moment." "Oh no, I'm not eating pizza." Like it ruins that whole atmosphere and experience with your family, and those are like the most important times in your life, right? So in those moments, I will never say no. Like I will never say no. I don't care if I'm on, you know, trying to lose weight or cut or I'm trying to diet. Like when there's a family occasion and food is there, I'm going to partake in everything regardless of that. And then, you know, I'm going to try to make up for that beforehand and after the fact too, which is sort of why like I create, why we've talked about this before, but like I have this like routine where I really practice intermittent fasting, you know, as much as I can and try to eat as healthy as I can Monday to Friday, right? Because whenever you have like a dinner on the weekend, or maybe, you know, your wife or your kids want to go out to like McDonald's or something, you know, because you ate good and healthy, you know, those previous 5 days during the week, it's not as harmful when you have that one terrible meal, right? So this is like, for me, it's like I try to put in the work beforehand by eating healthy and less food as much as I can or whenever I can, so that when that family occasion or dinner or buffet or birthday or whatever, when that occasion arises, then I can partake, without feeling too guilty about it, right?
Yeah. And that's how it should be. I think that's how it should be for me too. Just like, if I know there's gonna be a big party on the weekend, just kind of like, okay, for the week, make sure that you eat a little bit better, and then just be able to kind of bounce back afterwards, right? And I don't know. I think it's just, for us, it's just, I think preparing is a huge thing. If we have stuff prepared, like say in the fridge or something like we made like a day before, I think it'll be better, because then we pretty much eat what's in front of us here, right? So if there's a bag of chips on the table, we're gonna eat that bag of chips. If there's grapes on the table, we're gonna eat those grapes. So it's just like, I think that's one thing I kind of want to have to work on, just preparing, having stuff around, so that if I'm hungry and there's nothing to eat, we don't Uber Eats and get something just random, right? That's bad for us. Instead, just go in the fridge and have that thing that's prepped already. So I think that's gonna be key. I think it's gonna be key for trying to have a better balance this year.
Yeah, that's true.
When it comes to eating, for me at least, right?
Yeah, you gotta hide all those type of foods in the cupboard. Like everyone has like Oreos and cookies and chips in their house, but when it's open on the table and you can see it, you immediately gravitate towards it to just reach in and grab a couple of chips here and there, and all of a sudden it becomes like half the bag or whatever, right? So for me, what I like to do is I like to try to hide everything the best I can, and just like put it out when it's out of sight, out of mind. If I don't see it, then I'm not going to eat it, right? But as soon as it's out there on the table, I just have this problem where I just want to consume it, and it's terrible. Now, I'm sure that all guys have a very similar problem with food, right?
And it's harder, too, because, say, I do put it away. The kids want it, right? So if the kids want it, it's going to be out there. And you're just like, oh, man. And usually we're watching them, right? Or you're with them. So you're like, okay, I'll have an Oreo with you. Okay, I'll have a couple of chips with you or something. I don't know. Maybe we just gotta make sure that we just get them good stuff instead of the bad stuff, so that we're not forced to eat it with them.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. One of the things that sort of like it works for me is I have this weird, I don't know if you would call it an obsession. I have this weird preference with food. I like to eat the same things every day. I don't know. And most people find this weird because people would say, don't you get bored of food? Like, I love eating like rotisserie chicken with broccoli and with white rice, like every day for lunch. Like I could eat that every single day for lunch with like hot sauce, and I'm perfectly fine. Whereas a lot of other people, they like to have variety. They can't eat the same things 2 days in a row, right? So because I have this like weird predetermined preference with food, what I kind of do is every time for lunch I'll have that same super healthy lunch always, and like no matter what, just no exceptions. I always have that healthy lunch, which is part of my routine. And then for my snacks, I always have like a kiwi, and then I have like my protein shake and like a protein bar, for example. But I make sure I eat those things every single day. So then it immediately becomes a habit. So that when I have a sugar craving, instead of reaching for the bag of Twizzlers, I just go and grab a kiwi. And my body automatically knows to grab the kiwi when I'm craving something sweet. And then later on, when I want something like chocolatey or whatever, instead of, grabbing some chocolate or M&Ms, I have my protein shake and a protein bar. And again, I have those things every single day. And for me, having foods that are somewhat healthy or good for you, part of my daily routine, has really helped me mitigate eating all those terrible types of junk foods. Because if you don't have like a routine, if you don't know beforehand what you're going to eat, then you're just going to eat whatever, right? But for me, I know like 9 o'clock, or 9 p.m. or whatever, protein shake, protein bar. 2 p.m. before I go to work, having a kiwi. Like I know exactly at these times, and my body knows exactly what I'm going to eat, so that it removes 2 less chances of me eating some nonsense, right? Again, it's not perfect, but I just found that like that's what works for me.
No, that's good, dude. And I think it's probably something that I should try to implement too. Just gotta have stuff prepared and stuff that I can eat maybe more consistently. Like if I want to snack on something, have like some plain almonds or something. Just something that I have there that I'm kind of used to. Just And I don't know, maybe something I should try out just to kind of get back into this whole balance thing, because I feel like I fell off that balance scale, man. I'm like more towards just eating bad right now. So I need to get back. I need to get back on just kind of like balancing it out, because I know I'm gonna end up eating some bad food, but I just want to be able to like balance it out where I have to eat good food as well, right? It's not just all bad and stuff. So I just want to keep it on that scale.
Yeah, that's like you gotta do something, right?
Yeah,
Because also, I've really been trying to eat more salads for whatever reason. Like, and I'm not talking about like Caesar salad with bacon and croutons, like none of that stuff. Like very simple lettuce, spinach, cucumber, tomato, and just like olive oil and balsamic vinegar, maybe some salt and pepper. But none of that, those other super fatty sauces, and definitely not bacon or croutons. But like more like real whole types of salads, right?
Would you put hot dogs in your salad?
A hot dog salad? Is that a Filipino salad?
You have? No, I've never tried it. I just thought about it right now.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Instead of salad dressing, you put like ketchup instead.
Oh man,
I'm kidding. That's gross.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's like you gotta those processed meats. Like
I know they're the worst, man. So
man.
bad.
It's horrible.
I know. That's why, me and Mary were just talking to just the beginning of this year. Was like another goal this year is to cook more, just so that we can kind of control what we're eating instead of just buying random stuff. So far it's been good. Mostly Mary cooking, but like so far it's been good though. We've been trying to stay away from the ordering out in fast food.
Yeah, that's huge, man. Because like fast food is too easy. It's too accessible.
It is, yeah.
Right, a couple clicks on your phone, and then all of a sudden Uber Eats is at your doorstep. Right, like it's too tempting, and I don't know. It's hard to overcome that when it's so easy to do. Right.
Yeah, and it's hard too because with the kids, like I feel like they want different things. Like the two little ones want something different from what we eat, and Mills want something different from what else eats. So sometimes when I have to do like a food run, it's like 3 different spots. I'm like, okay, these 2 for the little kids. This is for me and Mary, and then this is for Mills. It's just like, oh my god, why can't we just all eat the same thing?
Oh man, that's crazy. It makes it so annoying. Complicated.
Yeah. So now we're trying to figure out meals where it's like, okay, what majority of us eat? At least 4 out of the 5 will eat here, right? So we try to cook something that at least all or majority of us will eat. And yeah, tonight she made a sushi bake. You ever tried that?
Oh yeah, Tina's made that before. Yeah, that's really good. I like it.
Really
good.
Sushi
bake is dope.
So she made that. It was really good. Not healthy, but it's really good.
Yeah, it's not the worst.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, we were able to control what we put in them, like the amount of sodium or like the other stuff. Like it was like a nice. She put a lot of veggies in it, so it was good. It wasn't just like all bad stuff.
Yeah, that's good too. Like you want to be. Yeah. You want to be cognizant of like the quality of the foods that you're eating too, exactly. But also at the same time, another thing that really helped me was being super aware of just eating out of sheer boredom. That's something that used to happen to me. Now I don't have the time to even be bored anymore. But I remember like back in the day, like I wouldn't know what to do. I'd be bored. So like, let's just go to the kitchen and eat something. Like that's a horrible habit to develop when you eat out of boredom. That's something that if I don't know if you do that, but you definitely need to get rid of that type of habit. If that happens to you, because that happened to me all the time. It's like, oh, it's 4 p.m. on a Sunday. What do we do? I don't know. Let's just eat some cookies and have some coffee. Have some chips too. Just eat like whatever's there, right? It's a horrible habit to have.
Yeah, and I think it happens to me more when we have just random food on the table, and that's what I'm saying. Like it's better just not to have the junk food around. And if we do have stuff around, make sure it's something that is actually good to eat. Right, but yeah, it happens all the time, man. For me, at least. So big
health goals for 2022 to get your energy up.
Yeah, man.
So then you can follow through with those business goals. So what else is in the works for YouTube?
YouTube, I just kind of want to keep like I'm making sure, like, I want to make sure that I put out stuff that I like. And I think in 2021, there's a lot of times where I posted things because I needed to post things. And a lot of times I just try to do videos where it's just like, okay, I need to get a video out. Let's just try to think of something that I can do really quick, right? So I think this year I want to focus more on like more on quality. And I think three videos a month is still very doable. Like it's not like crazy as long as I plan it out. And I want to do things where I plan out things a month ahead, where it's like I know what I'm doing in February already, right? Mm-hmm. So I just want to make sure I properly plan things. That's why I asked you for that sheet, right? Just to kind of like have a better way of putting my videos together, or like kind of like my ideas, and just kind of have them all lined up so that I know what I'm going to do for every month. So just be more organized, manage my time better, and better like quality stuff that I actually want to put out instead of just kind of like random stuff.
So you use that Google Excel sheet or whatever. That
I started using it.
Use it now.
Yeah. Thanks, bro. It's good, man. Like
it works.
Like it's simple, but it's like really good. It keeps everything kind of organized, right? Mm-hmm. So it's really good. So just kind of like have stuff I want to do in February, and just want to get a head start on things. So hopefully I can keep it up, man. That's the goal, is to kind of keep it up.
Yeah, it's good to have, because you know what I found beneficial about it? Like when I went through my spreadsheet for January, what I normally like to do is I try to post on a Wednesday, right? So in my Google, I don't know what you call it, Google Sheet, I had January 5th, 12th, 19th, and 26th written in the cells. So, and then I immediately would, like take, you saw that brainstorming column I had of like 50 different video future ideas that I have. And I would pick maybe two that I thought were good, maybe one that I thought was interesting, and then one that I would really enjoy to do. And then I would plug them into those 4 dates in January. And then in my mind, I already know, okay, today is the 9th or whatever. So in 3 days is January 12th. So I got to get this video out. So I already know exactly what type of work I need to do. I already know exactly where I am in the editing process. If I've done the writing, which I did already, so now I'm going to be in the filming stage and then the editing stage. It just makes everything so much simpler when you already know what you're going to do before you actually do it. Like, you know what I mean? It's just makes everything so much simpler and easier. And I find that when I don't have a clear goal for the month when it comes to the type of content I make, I'm always like, I can edit tomorrow. I can shoot something the next day, or I can do it on the weekend. And you just have this urge to procrastinate for whatever reason, and that's what I feel like you, or at least for me, I don't get any work done that way.
Yeah, no, that's how it is for me now. Like I usually before that, I used like just a regular Google Doc, and I would just kind of like throw my ideas on there, but it was kind of like messy and it wasn't organized, so it didn't really keep me on track. So I think with the stuff that you have, and then I kind of like implemented it with my calendar, it just now I can kind of like manage everything a little better with that sheet and my calendar that I have on my phone. So yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, one of the things is to keep organized and make sure that I stay on track with the stuff I'm doing. Like I know stuff is going to happen in between throughout the year, and I'm just going to make sure that I'm able to bounce back. I guess maybe that's the theme this year, is being able to bounce back.
The Klay Thompson year.
Yeah, exactly, man. Bounce back, man.
The Klay Thompson 2022 year for Bryan.
It's a good theme. Yeah, it's a good theme. And this year also, I wanna like expand and grow, like get better at things. So the company that I'm doing the courses with, they're like signing me up with other courses that they're doing, and a lot of them are filmmaking. So I'm gonna try to like learn what other filmmakers are doing. And another one that I actually just paid out of my own pocket is Casey Neistat. He has his own course that he releases, and it starts tomorrow. It's a 30-day course. Oh, wow. So I signed up for that because Casey kind of like, he was the guy that got me started and everything, right? Like I watched his stuff, even though I'm doing something completely different from what he's doing. I was motivated, and I was like, I really wanted to start creating because of Casey. So I'm like, even though I don't learn a lot, I'm pretty sure I'll learn a lot of storytelling from him, but I don't know, I'm excited. Like it's actually exciting for me. Like I'm excited to start tomorrow and see what day one consists of, right? So that's one thing that I want to do this year. Make sure I keep continuing to grow.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's good that you have like you have I don't know if you would say an idol or a hero or like someone you look up to, because then when they release a course, you can kind of resonate with them, and maybe it'll give you some tips or reignite that motivation or interest that you get when you started your YouTube channel. I don't think I have anyone particularly like that. I think I have like 4 or 5 guys that I follow religiously that are actually in the exact same type of niche as me. But I don't think I ever had anyone kind of like that. And I don't even watch Casey Neistat stuff.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I watched a couple of his videos maybe a couple years ago, and I had this urge to copy him. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to just like start vlogging on a scooter and then edit with like all these very fast cuts of all these different B-roll shots. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? Like, I know this guy's like super, like his stuff is super good, right? His content is super interesting. But I had this weird, very strange urge to try to like
to
copy him, right? I'm like, I can't. So I can't watch that guy. I can't watch his content because it just influences me too much.
And that's the thing I think with Casey too. He's a good filmmaker in terms of like video quality, but like I think it's his storytelling that's amazing. I think that's how he stands out from everything. Just his storytelling and how he puts everything together. Like if you check out like his camera skills and like the quality of his videos, some of them is just really crappy. Sometimes he just uses like a GoPro or whatever just to film stuff, right? He started filming stuff on a Ray-Ban. Ray-Ban made like these glasses that has that camera on it. And this is like 720p quality, but like it's just a storytelling. It's not even the quality of the video that he's putting out, like the quality of the camera, right? It's just how he puts it together. And that's what made me buy a course, right? I'm like really intrigued by how he puts stuff together, how his mind works when it comes to like building that story. And I think that's what I want to grow and get better at this year.
Yeah, I can relate to that because for me, I think I'm kind of tapped out when it comes to like gear, and a lot of my focus now is, like you said, on storytelling. Telling better stories, speaking better. Structuring my YouTube channels or my YouTube videos in a way that is easy to digest for viewers, right? And I kind of dropped this whole focus of cameras and lenses and getting this and getting that, but which is important. Like sound is important, your audio is important, and lighting is important. Like, don't get me wrong, but I think I've kind of reached a point where I feel like as a filmmaker or as a videographer, I'm good enough. I guess you would say. I feel like my quality is good enough. So I definitely need to work on all those other aspects, which is way more important, especially like the whole storytelling stuff, right?
Yeah, if you watch, like, I think, when did I watch it? I think it was during Christmas time. I was watching like your older videos and then your more recent one. Dude, your stuff has changed so much, man. Like, just the storytelling alone. Like, not even like, I'm not talking about like video quality. It's just like the quality of like the stories. Like, this is amazing. It's cool, man. Like I said, if I ever have to like do a presentation on someone like in front of people, I would use you as like example from what you've done from the beginning to now. It's just like the jump, this consistency, just like the dedication towards what you were doing. Right? If you put time into it, you can see how much you've grown. This is cool. And I've heard this quote a lot of times. I think it applies to a lot of people. Apparently, Nick Nurse said it too, the coach of the Raptors. He said, in order to be a master at something, you have to put in like 10,000 hours of work or something. I don't know. I've heard it before too, before Nick Nurse. So, and then I think it makes sense. Like with you, like with the stuff that you've done, you put in so much work, and you can see the quality of your stuff getting better and better. Right. So this is something that I would tell people, man. It's not even, maybe school helps, but like just actually putting in time and actually enjoying what you're doing, and you'll see the growth and just see your stuff evolve, and it's amazing. That's funny
because I don't look at my older videos. I know they're going to be super cringy, but I find myself, or maybe I probably should, look back at what mistakes I made and kind of learn from them. But to be perfectly honest, I don't watch my old videos at all. I kind of like post and ghost. I kind of post it, it's out there, and I just sort of just leave it, and I don't really have time to sort of like go back and look at it. Like if I make a follow-up video, then maybe I will go back. So I don't even know how bad my older videos were, to be perfectly honest with you.
I don't want to say they're. I don't think they're bad. I don't want to say they're bad. It's just at that time that was like what you thought was good. I can't watch my old videos either, man. I hate I cringe every time I see my old videos. Even like videos I made like in the summer, I'm just like, oh, I'm like I can't believe I did it this way. It's just like I can't watch my old videos, but it's just like I guess just the evolution. You just see like how much better like your framing is, your lighting, just like certain things that you do in the videos is just like gotten so much better. And I feel like it's just something that you learn as you go, right? Like you don't even have to like. I feel like you don't even have to watch YouTube videos to learn the stuff that you've done. I feel like you just do it, and then you kind of just improve on everything that you've done, right? So it's cool. It's just cool to see like the evolution, how you elevated.
Yeah, exactly. There's like a very famous story that is like super relatable to what we're talking about, and I this story always comes to mind, and it's about this pottery class where a teacher divides their students up into two different sections, and they're going to be graded on who can build the best pot out of clay. And half the class, she tells the students, okay, all of you guys just make one pot and focus on making the best possible quality pot you can, and then submit that one for the grading. And then she goes to the other class and goes, okay, you guys create a pot every single day for the entire month for the next 30 days. And regardless of the quality, just keep making that pot. And then just submit at the end of the month the best pot you have. So at first you would think like, oh, that first group that's focused on quality, they're obviously going to make like the best pot, right? But when it came to the end of the month and the teacher grading all the clay pots, the best pots from all the students all came from the group that created a pot every single day. And the students that focused on just making that one singular pot, the end result in terms of quality was way worse than all the other ones who put in like the quote unquote reps, right? And I feel like that's kind of how I approach YouTube, where I'm like, I need to just put in the reps. Like I had a GoPro, I don't know anything about framing. I don't know anything about videography or aperture or ISO. Like I knew nothing, but I'm like, you know what? Just do it and figure out improving as I go. And, and slowly over time, I went from like the Note 9 to the GoPro, and then the Panasonic, what was it? G7 or G7X or G7 or something like that. Whatever. Then it was like, then the Sony, like there was like this very small incremental gradual improvement. But like over a course of like a couple of years, I guess it's pretty big in the end, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think, when I started too, man, like when I first started doing YouTube, it's just kind of like, I was so excited just to put stuff out. I just kept creating. And that's what I noticed, like my stuff just started getting better. And I did watch other people and their YouTube videos, but I think I got better just by doing it. Mm-hmm. And I got used to my camera by just kind of like using it every day, right? So that's what it's a huge thing just to be. I guess you can't really force someone to do it, but like if they're really into it and they put in the hours, you're gonna see huge changes. Like almost, I won't say right away, but like you'll see the changes. You'll know who's actually dedicated to what they're doing and who's not. Right.
That's kind of like. Well, I actually sort of wanted to ask you about this. So not only like the like the typical YouTube videos, but I sort of branched out with like the whole live streaming thing. And I've been kind of like experimenting with shorts. What do you think about live streaming on YouTube and shorts? Are you going to be doing that type of stuff, or what do you think about those two things?
The one thing I want to do more of actually, or start doing is, I think I told you this before, is to actually start a podcast too, just to kind of like pretty much what you're doing now, just kind of like top. We're putting it right now. It's just like doing a podcast. It's kind of like have people on, have like different creators on, and just kind of like talk about their process and stuff, and pretty much like what you're doing. You're learning what other people are doing and their trades and whatever career they're in. But I think with mine, I want to focus more on like other creators as well, like other people who create content and stuff, right? So, but we'll see. That's one thing I want to do, and I know shorts. Like I think we were talking about this before too. I don't like them as much, but I know it's what people like right now. So now I'm just trying to like implement it with what I'm doing because I want to enjoy doing them. I don't want to just do it because I have to do it. I want to make sure I enjoy making these shorts as well at the same time, right? So I'm not just forced to do it. So now I kind of tested it out towards the end of the year last year, and I had like a bunch of stuff posted in a couple weeks, and it was good, but it does take up a lot of time still. So I'm trying to figure out a system and a process where I can kind of like just bang them out, have a bunch ready at a time, and maybe post it every day or every other day and have something ready, right? So I think for me to do that, though, I might have to have an editor who's consistently editing for me or helping me edit stuff, right? Which kind of sucks. Like, I guess if I didn't have kids, I'd be able to, but I gotta make sure, everything has to kind of like fit into the schedule. So, but yeah, I think they're important though, man. And I know you don't like them as much. I think we were talking about it before, but I feel like they are a big part of content today, like the type of stuff that's being posted, right? And I think these platforms, a lot of them are kind of like pushing these videos over everything else, which kind of sucks. So, yeah, I think it's important.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. It's because it takes away from the creative process. As soon as you limit someone to 1 minute, like you can't go over 1 minute. Okay, so now we have an issue when it comes to the creative process and creativity, because especially for the type of content that I make, like in the self-help, self-development niche, if we're talking about finding your purpose in life, how can you talk about that in 1 minute? Like, you're not doing the subject justice, right? Like these very serious topics that I like to like dive into and kind of dissect and think about and contemplate over. Like these are things that are like life changing, right? Like life altering subjects that I feel like need way more than 1 minute of your time, right? So for me, like I don't like the whole YouTube short vertical format content. However, when it comes to the business side of being a content creator, I found that, and I've heard this before, I can't remember where I heard this, but when it comes to YouTube Shorts, there is an unbelievable demand in the market for YouTube Shorts, but there is an extremely small and limited supply. So especially in business, that like this is business 101. That's a fundamental. Like if there's a limited supply in a market and there's an increasing demand, as a content creator who creates things, like you would be foolish not to enter that market and try to at least put something out there, right? So this is sort of why like I'm experimenting with shorts, and the way I did it was super weird. I recorded 4 shorts, like one after, like I hit record on my camera, and I just talked to it for like 40 minutes, and I got 4 shorts out of like this one long video clip, and I cut them all up, and I just sort of like talked briefly about a couple of subjects, but I had 4 shorts in the bag that were done. So I just kind of edited them when I could. I threw 3 of them up in December, and I've had one sitting on my computer. It's been done for like 3 weeks, but it's just sitting here, so I can just post it whenever I want. So I feel like okay, maybe I'll every month maybe just bang out 3 or 4 shorts, and I just have a bunch. So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't really have a good grasp or understanding of how YouTube Shorts even work, though.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to stick to the educational side of it, the short videos, right? So I'm thinking of just using it as kind of like a little trailer to my actual YouTube video, or just kind of like a shorter version, right? So I'm still gonna play around with it a little bit, but I feel like I'm probably I don't want to teach a Final Cut tutorial on like a TikTok video or a YouTube short video. Like it's not gonna make sense, right? Unless it's like super easy where it's like makes sense for like 1 minute. But I think it's more like slightly educational and fun, and ties in with what I'm doing on my channel as well. So, but yeah, I'm still trying to figure out. But I think I will need someone to kind of like continue to edit for me, because I think I want to focus on other things other than the shorts, right? So if I can have someone on the side editing those, I think that'll be good for me.
Yeah, that's a very first thing that I'm going to invest in it. I should be more confident. When my YouTube channel picks up and I make more than $1 a day, those initial proceeds will 100% go towards an editor. That's going to be something that, or someone that I'm going to invest in 100%. Because again, like editing your own YouTube videos, editing your shorts, also posting them for Instagram and TikTok. And I have, the live streams too, and even this podcast as well. Like, this is like so much editing for one person to do, right? Where like it's going to be extremely difficult because I have such high standards for myself, right?
Yeah.
But like, of course, I don't. If I'm only making $1 a day, it's like impossible for me to hire, an editor, right? Unless someone wants to do it for free.
Yeah.
If anyone's watching this that wants to be an editor that wants to work for free, holler at your boy, right?
Yo, remember this? What is this podcast number 28? You said
28.
28. Remember
I need
this?
an editor, guys.
Derek was making $1 a day. Remember, we're gonna watch this again in a year or so. Let's see how much Derek will be making.
$1 a day.
It's okay, man. That's good. You're still grinding it out. That's cool, man. A lot of people would have given up like way back, like years ago, like years back, man. Like, you're still grinding it out because you're actually enjoying it, right? You're enjoying making the content that you're making, right? You're not like forced to do it. So, and I feel like, I know it sounds kind of like corny, but you gotta actually enjoy what you're doing in order for you. Like, if you're able to create these videos and not get paid, then that's a good start, because then you're actually enjoying stuff that you're making. Because then it'll come.
I think for me, like, to be perfectly honest, like, deep down, I'm sure every YouTube creator would love to get paid for making videos. To be perfectly honest, right here, like, let's just be real, right? Like, I'm sure at the beginning, like, oh man, I want to make all this big YouTube money, like, I want to like do all these things, but eventually, when I got into the whole creation process and started posting consistently after finding this niche, I love the work. Like, I love the whole process. And every day I wake up and I'm always thinking, like, oh, what new video idea should I make? Or what should I talk about? Or maybe there's something I can write about, or what type of B-roll should I film outside? Like, my mind is always racing and thinking. And you know the type of person I am. I'm a super obsessive, compulsive person where either I like something and I'm in 110%, or I just drop it. Like, I'm someone that I just can't go halfway. I don't know what it is about myself, and this is sort of why I kind of quit video games, because I know how I am. Like, if I'm gonna play Call of Duty with you guys, I can't just play with the boys and have fun. I gotta play to be like the best in Canada, or like something stupid, like something so dumb and childish. But for whatever reason, I can't control those urges I have, for addiction over something that I love to do. Right. Yeah. So that's why I think the whole YouTube thing. I know you say it's like a grind, but lately it doesn't even feel like a grind at all, because all this time and effort and energy that I'm putting into it, it's from a place of passion. It's from my heart. It's from a place where I love to do it, and I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. And I think that's what's huge when it comes to wanting to be a YouTube creator. Yeah.
And that's why I feel like a lot of people, when they start, I feel like they're focused on the wrong things right away. They're focusing on, I want to make sure I start making money, and they're watching the wrong people, I feel, because they feel like, they're gonna make money in like a few months, and then that's it. That's their full-time job, right? Because it could happen. It could happen in 3 months, but realistically, probably not, right? Like, I've seen it happen like to certain people that we know, where it's just like bang, like one video is just like you're up there, but like it doesn't happen right away. So I feel like you need to be actually like enjoying what you're creating and just let it happen, right? Like, do your other stuff on the side that's making you money, and just keep creating and make sure that you're having fun with it. And I guess it's easier for me to say, because it's actually, I reached that point where it's actually like doing well for me. But like,
you made it, bro.
I enjoyed it though. I enjoyed making those videos, right? And at first I was making like same thing, man. I was making $1 a day on YouTube, man. I did so many videos just for nothing, right? For free, but like I enjoyed it. It was actually fun. Like sometimes I made 2 videos in a day. Where it's just like I just wanted to make videos. I'm just like, I just want to make videos and put it out there. It's cool. I'm helping people. People are commenting saying, like, your video helped me. I started doing this. It's just like motivating. It's nice to see that kind of stuff, right? Just to be able to share that and see people like enjoy your stuff. So I feel like, you gotta enjoy it, man. If you don't, then 100% you're gonna end up quitting it.
Yeah, it's always nice when you get that feedback, right, from people and viewers, especially. Of course, there's gonna be some like terrible, like negative trolls once in a while, but like those really nice comments you get from complete strangers from time to time, it makes you feel good as a content creator, right?
Oh, it's nice, man. It's nice to see like people are actually enjoying content, and I've read it on your comments too, man. Even though like, what are you at now, 1,500, 1,600 subscribers?
Like, you're getting 16 something, 16
Yeah.
something, I think.
Yeah, dude. Some of the comments are people are just like, think your videos have helped them, and videos are like they can relate to it. It's really cool. It's sick seeing that, right? It's awesome seeing that stuff.
Yeah, it's also too like a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about. It's kind of like weird subjects that people don't talk about often, I guess you would say. Like I don't know if this belief that I have of transparency, if I'm following it to a fault, but like, you know, when I create content and I'm putting like my passion and time into it, I want it to be an authentic representation of who I am, right?
Yeah.
So when I make a video talking about like my personal finances and like the money I made last year, like those are all real numbers. Like, and I'm not afraid to show people that I only made $30,000 in a year from a day job. You know, like that's terrible. Like that's like nothing. That's like such a low amount of money for a man that's 37 years old. Like imagine that if you're 37-year-old man, you're telling people you're only making $30,000 a year. You know, people are going to make fun of you. People are going to laugh at you. People are going to think you're a failure. But stuff like that, like for the sake of authenticity and transparency, I don't care. Right, I don't care what people think of me, right? So that's why I'm not afraid to share these ideas, especially like, you know, sharing my thoughts on like having a gambling problem, you know, like which I had for like a decade, right? And just talking about things, you know, that are real in my life, and I feel like people will resonate with me or resonate towards that because I don't have like that specific niche, you know what I mean? Like when I look at your channel, you have this specific niche. When I go to your YouTube channel, I know exactly what it is. I know what to expect. I know the type of content it is. Like it all lines up and makes sense. But when you go to my page, it's just like a tornado of chaos. It's all this randomness, right? Because I don't have a well-defined niche where, you know, like where most people tell you to niche down, you know, and I haven't really done that. You see stuff about kiwis and exercising and taking notes and then money and morning routines. Like I'm all over the place, right? But I feel like hopefully in the long run, like staying true to myself and sharing those authentic stories in my life will eventually pay off and hopefully help someone. I don't know if it's naive to think that, but at least that's my thought process so far.
Oh man, that last video, the last video you show your financial statements and stuff. Like, I think people will see how authentic you are and how like real you are, and to be able to share that. Like, not a lot of people will share that stuff, right? And they'll I feel like you'll gain more than like. You'll gain more loyal people that way with that video, just by showing just being more transparent that way. So I don't know, I think it'll be good in the long run. And I feel like a lot of the stuff that you do it kind of falls within that self-improvement, right? Even though it sounds weird, they all kind of still fall into that one little thing, like self-improvement and kind of like your lifestyle, right? Just kind of like how to improve and how you're improving your life and stuff you're doing in your life that's bettering for you, right? So I don't know. I think they all kind of tie in together. So I think what you're putting out is good, man. I think just keep continuing to do it, and you're having fun with it. So
yeah, I'm hopeful. You know what's funny about the YouTube channel growth? In the beginning, like in 2019, I was praying every day for like a blow up. I was like, man, come on, like algorithm trigger, blow my channel up. But now that I've had like 2.5 years to look back and, you know, really think about my channel as a whole and what's happened, I'm actually kind of thankful and grateful that it didn't blow up when I was posting shitty videos. Like if my channel took off in 2019 or early 2020, it would have taken off with a tremendous amount of poor content. And it would have had all these impressions, these video impressions of people seeing my work. And it's of like 3 out of 10 quality, I guess. Like that work that I made then was terrible. But because I struggled for 2.5 years, because I was in the trenches grinding, you know, and trying to learn my craft, if I were to blow up, say, I don't know, this year sometime, it's going to be so much better for me because I am so much more proud of my past 40 videos than my first 40 videos, right? So in a weird way, you know, I'm kind of grateful that my journey has been so difficult because I think it's going to be better for me in the long run. Whereas if it took off right away, like, no, some people, they just go viral instantly, right? And all of a sudden, you know, they have this success, but they have a skewed understanding of how good they are as a content creator. Because in 2019, I was still using the GoPro. I didn't know anything about frame rate. I was probably shooting in 60 FPS, all my stuff, right? Like, and not using anything properly. So I don't know. I'm just kind of grateful that the path of the struggles is one that I'm on.
That's good, man. Like, you've learned so much through that struggle, right? you can see it in your videos. Like I was telling you, just like by you struggling and grinding, and it shows in your videos, man. And hopefully this is the year, bro. Hopefully this is the year.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. You know, I still have I have huge goals when it comes to YouTube, but I that one big focus or dream for me is to just have that content creation studio at home. Like that is what will bring me true happiness. It's not the money, it's not the views, it's not the subscribers. Yeah. It's like having that freedom, you know, to be home with the people I love and my family, and to just have a space of my own where I can just, you know, spend my time doing things that I love to do. Like for me, that's everything, man. I could care less about, you know, making six figures so I can buy a Porsche or a Lamborghini. Like, get out of here. I don't care about any of that stuff. You know, I'm never going to buy any more expensive clothing. These boring shirts that I wear, that's what I'm going to have always from now until the day I die, right? And it's this clear vision and goal of knowing exactly what makes me happy as a person. That's the big goal in the long run for me. But unfortunately, this Canadian housing market isn't helping me out anytime soon.
Like every time you tell me like, oh, it's so close, I'm like, oh my god, dude! Like you've been, like you said, half a year now that you've been trying to look for one.
Yeah,
that's
since
so
July.
Crazy, man. That's so crazy, dude. Hopefully, this is a year too for the house.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you guys will be this year, man.
Yeah, I know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's
yeah.
It's like a pain, and you probably saw the part where I talked about like housing and the unbelievable amount of cost and time that comes with it. It's rough, man. So hopefully we both have that goal in the future, and we'll get there one day, bro.
Yeah. Man, grind continues.
That's awesome. Hey, dude, we hit an hour. Anything else you want to talk about?
Oh, snap. No, I'm good, man. That was a good little pod there.
That was fun.
Man. Thanks for having me on again. Even though I sound super sick.
No, it was fine, bro. It was fun catching up. We, got to do it more regularly again. I'm always lacking people to talk to. I'm always looking for conversation, but people keep turning me down. I don't know.
Dude, I'm down whenever, bro. Like I used to want to fill your page with just me on there. So whenever you want to do a pod, let me know, bro. I'm always down. When I get mine started, you gotta come on a regular too.
So when is that? Do you have a date? Do you have an idea, a plan? What's going on?
Well, I want to finish it off. I want to finish off the course first. The first course I'm doing.
Oh yeah.
So once that's done, then I'm gonna try to do. I want to do like. I know it's probably going to be harder now because I kind of wanted to do like in-person pods, right, at the office where I was going to set up like a little corner, but I don't think it's going to happen. So probably something similar to what you're doing now, just some online ones. And then when things get better, hopefully get people to come in and do it. So the goal is like second quarter, third quarter of this year, start it up. Hopefully sooner.
That's my goal too. I want to do in-person pods, but but in the meantime, I don't think it's really feasible. It's kind of hard to do, right?
It is, yeah. So this, like, what you have with this Riverside thing is amazing, dude. It's perfect. Like, how they have it set up, I think it's so worth it.
All right, cool. Sounds good. So for anyone that's listening to this or watching this on YouTube, check out Bryan's YouTube channel. It's Bryan Francisco. For anyone that wants to know anything about Sony cameras, videography, filmmaking, and specifically editing on Final Cut Pro 10, go check out his work. He is the one that basically taught me everything I know about filmmaking, and I am forever grateful. Thanks, bro.
No worries, man. Let's do this again soon.
All right, cool. That was fun having you on, dude.
GG, thanks, bro.
All right, man. All right, guys, take it easy. Peace.